Hi, I'm Srinivas sir from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. Okay, I'm teaching your science subject. You know very well. We have completed already the first lesson. In the second chapter, so what is the second chapter? Seed germination and dispersal. In the first chapter, we learnt about how the flower germinate, how the flower germinate into a fruit, germinate into a fruit, that is anther, stigma, everything you have studied. Okay, when the anther falls on the stigma, that stigma is developed into ovule and ovary. In the ovary, it develop into ovule like seeds, fruits, everything that we are getting. After that, how the seed germinate? That means after the production of seeds, how they germinate into new plants, how they grow into new plants. We will study in this chapter. For what purpose we have to germinate the seeds? To get the new plants, to get the new plant as well as to get the crop, everything. For our purpose, we need food, everything. So to get all those things, we need to germinate the seeds. Germinate the seeds once again, so you will get the new plants. So I hope you have all purchased the textbooks. See the page number 13. Open page number 13. Seed germination and dispersal. As usual, I will read the first page and afterwards I will explain. Because we are using the textbook to understand you very well. Otherwise, you can't read the hard words and the difficult words. So for that reason, I am reading. Okay, just you see the textbook now. I will start. Seeds of one plant differ from the seeds of other plants in terms of their number, shape, size, structure, and color. Structure of seeds. After the fertilization, inside the ovary of a flower, the fertilized egg cell divides many times to form the embryo. The plant embryo forms a hard wall around itself, and that is known as seed. Although seeds may differ in terms of size, shape, and color, they have parts which are common. These are seed coat, embryo, and food supply. The seed coat is tough and waterproof. It covers and protects the embryo and food supply. The embryo is the baby plant. A part of the embryo, the radicle, grows into the primary root. The seed has its own food supply, the endosperm. The cotyledon of or seed leaf absorbs the food in the endosperm and transports it to the embryo. The baby plant is present between the cotyledons. It develops a new root system and shoot system that grows into a new plant. The seeds of bean, rajma, and pea have two cotyledons each. Each of part of the seed is a cotyledon. These cotyledons absorbs the entire food supply. Seeds with two cotyledons are called dicotyledons or dicots. Seeds of corn, rice, and maize have only one cotyledon. Such seeds are called monocotyledons or monocots. Okay, we will go in detail. Here, seeds of one plant differ from the seeds of other plants. Have you seen the seeds? Seeds means like ragi, paddy, okay, that what you are eating, rice, what you are eating rice, and that grams in your home, everywhere you are using. That coconut is also a seed. Coconut is also a seed, and that groundnut. These are all the some examples for the seeds. Groundnut is example for seeds. You have seen the groundnut or using the groundnut in your home. If you take a groundnut and see that one, it's a seed. When you sow it, you will get a new groundnut plant. When you sow it, you get a new groundnut plant. All the plants we are getting from the seeds only. What you are using that apple, in that also some seeds are present. Okay, in every fruit you are getting the seeds. In every fruit you are getting the seeds. That seeds once again develop into plants. For example, ragi, as I told, ragi, okay, paddy. That if you sow the paddy, you will get the paddy plants, and then you get the paddy in that one. Everything, okay. See here, they are in terms of their number. That means in ragi you get so plenty of seeds, but in some other you get one or two, okay. And the shape of the seeds is not all the same shape, okay. Some are round, some are in kidney shape, some are in round shape, okay. Some are in different shapes it is available, and size, some are very small, some are very large, like that. And texture and color, their color also different, their colors also different. That means all the seeds are not uniform. All the seeds are not uniform. They are different in their numbers, shape, size, texture. Texture means how they are visible, and color. And the color also they are different. Okay, that means the seeds of one plant differ from the seeds of other plant. That means they are not uniform. They are not in uniform in shape or size or texture or color. Next, we will go structure of a seed. What are the common? But all the seeds are different in shapes and sizes, but they have common characteristics. I have written here the structure of a seed. Structure of a seed, we will go in detail it. Structure of a seed. After the fertilization, inside the ovary of a flower, the fertilized egg cell divides many times to form the embryo. The plant embryo forms a hard wall around itself, and that is known as the seed. That means after the fertilization, in the last chapter we have discussed about the fertilization. After that fertilization, the ovary of a flower, have you seen that last ovary? Ovary of a flower develops into a fertilized egg, and cell divides into many times. That means 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, 32 becomes 64, 64 becomes 128, like that. It divides and forms the structure. Everywhere, in every human beings, the same type of cell division is taking place. Same type of cell division is taking place, that is multiplying themselves. And form the embryo. Embryo means eggs. Okay. The plant embryo forms a hard wall around it. It forms a hard wall around itself, and that is known as seed. The total thing is known as seed. The total thing known as seed. Although seeds may differ in terms of size, shape and color, they have parts which are common. They are different in shape, size and color, but they have common characteristics. Common parts. These are seed coat and embryo and food supply. We will go one by one. The seed coat is tough and waterproof. The outer layer, when you take a seed, when you take the groundnut outside, one red color embryo is there. Embryo, that when you fry it, it will move, no? That one, that is called as embryo. Okay, seed coat, that is called as seed coat, is tough and waterproof. In other foods, it is very, very tough. It is very, very tough and hard. It is very, very tough and hard. It covers and protects the embryo and food supply. It covers the whole seed. It covers the whole seed from the water. If it come in contact with the water, it will destroy the seed. So it will protect the seed inside it. It protects the seed inside it. Which one protect? Seed coat. This is the seed coat. See, last outside. Outside is called as seed coat. It covers and protects the embryo and food supply. It supplies the inside, that is food supply as well as the embryo. Next, the embryo is the baby plant. The embryo is the baby plant. A part of the embryo, the radicle, grows into the primary roots. Primary roots here. This is the embryo. This is the embryo. It will grows into the primary root. The seed has its own food supply. Here, what is the thing is present? This full is the food supply for this. When you sow it, we can't give anything. We can't give anything to the seed. then it will grows into itself and eats this food supply. Eats this food which is supplied already by the mother plant and grows inside the earth. Grows inside the earth. Okay, the seed has its own food supply, the endosperm. This is called the endosperm. See here, I have written endosperm. This full is called as endosperm. It will uses it for the growing. It will uses it for the growing. The cotyledon and the seed leaf absorbs the food in the endosperm and transport it to the embryo. The cotyledons, see here they are given the cotyledons. Okay, these cotyledons absorbs the food and gives to the roots to move, roots to develop, roots to grow. Okay, the baby plant is present between the cotyledons, between two cotyledons, the baby plant. When you take a groundnut, of shape like this, here, what is the one point is there? When you observe that point directly, that grows into the leaf. You have seen that some knot type, like a point type is there. When you feel it, it will feel to your finger that knot type is growing into shoot system. That two cotyledon. When you divide the groundnut, it will divide into two. No, that it develops into leaves. See here, between cotyledon, it develops a new root system and shoot system that grows into a new plant. That means here the food supply is there in the seed itself. It will use itself and grows into new plants and grows into new root system as well as shoot system. See, this will grows into root apex. That means the roots will grow downwards, the leaves will go upwards. Okay, when you sow it, the roots will go downwards, the shoots will go upwards. If you want to see, just you sow one or two groundnuts or any seeds available in your home, they will develop into new plants. Okay, in the pot itself, if you sow some ragi, whatever is you are getting in the home, just you sow it, you will get new plants from that one. Okay, I hope you understand. Next, the seeds of a bean, rajma and pea have two cotyledons each. That means when you divide them, it will become two equal parts. They are called as, these cotyledons absorb the entire food supply. Each half part of a seed is a cotyledon. These cotyledons absorb the entire food supply. That means when you divide them, they become two equal parts. When you cut it, it divides into two equal parts. It is called as dicotyledon. Because it contains two cotyledons. For example, groundnut. What are the things you are using in your home for making the food? They are all dicotyledons except ragi, wheat, and rice. They are all monocotyledons. Here they are given explains. Seeds with the two cotyledons are called dicotyledons or dicots. Seeds of corn, rice and maize have only one cotyledon. Such seeds are called monocotyledons or monocots. Because if you cut a small ragi, it won't divide into two equal parts. So they are called as monocotyledons. Example, corn, rice, maize. They are all example for only one cotyledon. And dicots means when you cut a seed, it will divide into two equal parts. Next, germination of seeds. Next topic is germination of seeds. I hope you understand how the seed will grow. Seed has this seed coat. It will protect the seed inside it, and it has cotyledons that supplies the food. Okay, endosperm also supplies the food. Here the new plant will grow. Here root apex will grow. That means the cotyledons are developed into new plant. That is two leaves and the fruit system and the shoot system as well as the root system will grow. Okay. Next, we will go for germination of seeds. Germination of seeds. Germination is the development of a new plant from a seed. In order to germinate, a seed needs three things: water, oxygen, and right temperature. I am reading, just you watch the textbook. Germination of seeds. Once again, I am reading. Germination is the development of a new plant from a seed. In order to germinate, a seed needs three things: water, oxygen, and the right temperature. Soak any kind of seed in water. The seed first absorbs water through its hole. The seeds well or become large, swell or become large as water enters into them. The seed coat softens and then breaks. Soon a tiny root or radical appears from the seed and grows downwards. A shoot, which would become the stem later, also appears and grows upwards. The seed with a small root and a small shoot is called seedling. Later, the first leaves appear on the stem and the seed coat drops off. The growing seedling uses the food stored in the cotyledons for growth. As the stem grows upward, more and more leaves appear while the cotyledons become smaller and finally it drops off. By this time, the leaves of the growing plant can already make the food through the process of photosynthesis. The plant will use this food as it continues to grow. How the germination of seeds take place? How the germination of seeds takes place and how the new plant will grow. In this para they have explained. I will now explain. Germination is the development of a new plant from a seed. You know very well what is the germination. That means we are growing a new plant from the seeds. New plant from the seeds. In order to germinate, what are the requirements for the seed? When you place it on the table, it will grow? No, it can't grow. When you place it in the boxes, is it will grow? No, it cannot grow. So it needs some climatic conditions as well as some materials to grow. So what are the materials? In order to germinate, a seed needs three things. What are the things? Water. The first thing is water, oxygen, and right temperature. The temperature should be how much it required, the temperature should be maintained. Otherwise, it can't grow. If the temperature is very less, it can't grow. If the temperature is more, it can't grow. The right temperature it required. For that reason, they have given right temperature. Okay, soak any kind of seed in water. Take some seeds in your home and soak them. That means dip it in the water for some time. Okay, the seed first absorbs water through its holes. The seed absorbs the water. The seeds absorb the water. The seeds swell or become large as water enter into them. They become larger. They become larger inside. The seed coat softens and then breaks. The seed coat softens and we will easily remove it. We don't want to remove it, but it becomes very soft. So here, when we soak the seeds in the water, it will becomes larger size as well as the seed coat becomes smooth. The seed coat becomes smooth. Okay. So the seed coat softens and then breaks. Soon a tiny root radical appears from the seed and grows downwards. Here, from this formation, a root system will growing starts. From the seed, a root system will start. That is radical, appears from the seed and grows downwards. A shoot which would become the stem later also appears and grows upwards. That means a shoot system is also starts to grow from the seed and grows upwards. The seeds with a small root and a small shoot is called seedling. What we call it as seedling. That means a small plant, very, very small plant is called as seedling. Okay. Later, the first leaves appear on the stem and the seed coat drops off. After that, these two cotyledons will grows up and that new leaves will start and the seed coat removes automatically itself. Okay. As the stem grows upward, as the growing seedlings use the food stored in the cotyledons for their growth. That means by these two cotyledons, they use this endosperm for their growing. This endosperm for their growing. Later, the first leaves appear on the stem and the seed coat drops off. The growing seedlings use the food stored in the cotyledons for growth. As the stem grows upward, more and more leaves appear. More and more leaves, 1, 2, 3 more appear, while the cotyledon becomes smaller and finally it also drop off. Cotyledons also get into drop off. By this time, the leaves of growing plants can already make food through the process of photosynthesis. They start the manufacture of food, that is making the food by the photosynthesis. By the process photosynthesis and starts growing. They don't need any other food. They start making their own food. By this time, the leaves are growing plants already make food through the process of photosynthesis. The plant will use this food as it continues to grow. It will use its own food. This is how the germination of seeds. That means you have to soak the seeds first in the water. After that, when they become more, you have to tie it, or if you leave it to them, there some root system as well as shoot system will grow. When you sow them, it will develop into new plant. It will develop into new plant. In the villages, they follow the same thing for ragi and paddy. Ragi and paddy. First, what they will do, they will soak the ragi or paddy, okay, and they will tie it with some cloth. In your home also, some seeds for cooking purpose they are using the same way, okay. After that, some shoot system and root system will grow. At that time, they will put it in the fields. After that, the small seedlings will develop. From the ragi as well as the paddy. After some days, that means after 10 days or 14 days, they will take it and separately they will plant them. Like this ragi and this paddy will grow. Paddy means what are you getting from the, what are you get from the paddy only, we are getting rice. Okay, I hope you understand. See here, they have given the figures also how the seeds will grow. Stages of seed germination. How the seeds is germinated. That means grows into a seedling. Next, we will go for seed dispersal. Seed dispersal is the process of spreading seeds of two different places. I am reading, just to watch it. Seed dispersal is the process of spreading seeds to different places. Seeds need to be dispersed because if they are not dispersed, many germinating seeds will grow very close to the parent plant. This will result in competition between the seedlings and their parent plant. The competition is for light, space, water, and nutrients. All of these are important for the growth of plant. Seed dispersal also creates new colonies and prevents overcrowding. Seeds can be dispersed in a number of ways. They may be carried by wind, water, or animals. Some plants even shoot out their seeds explosively. The size of seed is an important factor in its dispersal. So next we will move seeds. When by the seedling, they will develop into new plant and they produce the seeds. If the seeds will fall there only, what will happen? They grow a new plants there itself. That means the area becomes very crowded. By the same plant. So they don't get the food, light, everything. They have given here only the same thing. Seed dispersal is the process of spreading seeds to different places. That means after the production, they have to spread to some different places. Why? What is the reason? Seeds need to be dispersed because if they are not dispersed, what happens? Many germinating seedlings will grow very close to the parent plant. If one parent plant is there, if the seeds will fall here only, new plants will grow here only. In the surrounding area only, here only, so many new plants will grow. at the same place. This will result in competition between the seedlings and their parent plant. That means this is the parent plant and the small seedlings, the competition will start to getting the water, to getting the nutrients, to getting the sunlight, everything. They start the competition. For that reason, they won't grow very well. Because here in the sun rays, they won't get the seedlings, they won't get the sunrise. They won't get the water properly because scarcity of water it will occur. Okay, like that. This will result in the competition between the seedlings and their parent plant. The competition is for light as well as space. Space is also important, water and as well as nutrients. The competition starts for light, space, water and the nutrients. All of these are important for the growth of a plant. If a plant wants to grow very well, these are very, very important, which are water, oxygen, temperature, that means sunlight, nutrients, all are very, very important. So for that reason, they have to shift from one place to other place. So how this shift, that means dispersal. All of these are very, very important for the growth of plant. Seed dispersal also creates new colonies and prevents overcrowding. That means if a seed is dispersed from here to here, it will grow here and it will new colony. That means new plants will grow here and they will get very well the sunlight, nutrients, water, everything. Seeds can be dispersed in a number of ways. That means there are a number of ways how the seeds can disperse. They may be carried by wind. That means the air will carry them. Water will carry them. Animals, and animals also disperse the seeds. Some plants even shoot out their seeds explosively. Some plants, how they will shoot? Just they will break into like a cracker. They will make the sound and they will throw the seeds. Okay, the size of a seed is an important factor in this dispersal. Either whether it is very small or big, it has to be decided how it has to be dispersed by the nature itself. Okay, if the small is there, it will shoot by the some cracker type like bursting. If a fruit burst, what will happen? The seeds are spreading some different places. Okay, by the animals, by the water, by the wind also, Okay, I hope you understand this much. How the seed dispersal will take place. What is the necessity for seed dispersal? What is the necessity for seed dispersal? If the seed dispersal is not done, what will happen? The plants will grow here only and the parent plant will get affected and the seedlings also get affected. Otherwise, they won't get if the seed dispersal is not taken, is not done, what will happen? They won't get water, oxygen or nutrients, sunlight, everything. So they won't grow. For that reason only, this seed dispersal is very, very important. In the next class, how the dispersal of seeds by wind, water and animals and everything we will learn. I hope you understand very well. Okay. If you have any doubt, we will clarify now. Thank you.